Oh,
Go on.
I was just gonna ask, what do you guys think? Because I was just like looking at the updates. So I said I saw that in like what 1 year, 2 years, or even maybe for the next Olympics in 2021, they're gonna use synthetic shuttles, no more feather shuttles. I'm like, what? I want to play with no plastic shuttles. What do you guys
I would
think?
love it.
No one's used it. Yeah.
If they got to the point where they can design one that feels and plays like a feather one, then I'm game.
But they
Until
said they
that
did
day,
that, but then they said, but then when Lizzie J did an interview about it, said it's literally just all attacking players are going to benefit, and any player with touch or skill control or placement skill is going to suffer because of it. Just plays like a plastic shuttlecock. You can just ground it so easy, apparently.
So, yeah, no idea. I haven't. Yeah, it's literally to see if you can actually, get hit with it, because they've been testing them, but no one's mentioned it in any of the tournaments. Whether they've, like, normally the players, Victor Axton's always very vocal about everything, but he hasn't mentioned really anything about it. When they was about the score change and everything else, he's always quite good at like being vocal and voicing his opinion, but I've not heard much about that. I've heard that it's been tested, and that what Joe said is that they will be benefiting, the attacking players will be benefiting, but that's really it. It's like, okay, right, well, I don't even know the difference of what it looks like. Show me one.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Like for the longevity of the sport, you can't really keep going with this whole taking the left feather of the goose or whatever. Maybe you can, but like in terms of serious longevity of the sport, I understand it's like potentially a necessary step, but I don't want it to affect the current game the way it is situated now, if that makes sense. Like I don't want, because you're trying to become more sustainable, you change the concept of the game.
I think for their level, they don't need to change it. They can afford to run feathered shuttlecocks, even though they change them unnecessarily. And there's they've already worked in the steps of differentiating normal badminton from our grassroots level badminton, because with the new service rule, that's already been done. You've essentially said something that if, say, for instance, you, Joe, become into an international player, you'll actually have to learn to adjust your serve because of the height and having someone there standing there, because you can't do that same serve when you're playing our level. And because you're a taller player, you will actually have to adjust it. If you're a shorter player, it means you could bring your racket up higher, which is not going to really, it's not going to be a downfall to you. But you, as a taller player, 6'3" now, by the time you stop growing 6'5", 6'6", you're going to actually have to actually adjust your serve. You're going to have to adjust your stance to make sure that you're not always over this 1 point whatever meters it is. So again, it differentiates that game between, and a lot of sports do that. Basketball's done that. They've changed the size of the basketballs in the last 5-10 years for everyone using different sizes as a junior, which all the players said is not going to benefit them when they get older and they have to use a heavier basketball, and then the weight's different. Because girls have always used a different one, but now they have a different size for boys. And it's the same as if you go into playing international, you would have to adjust that service then. Bad to say, but you don't want to be like that Gabby Adcock who's struggling to serve, just flicking it. So yeah. But it should be, I think, for our level, the shuttle change will mean that more people could run sustainable clubs.
Potentially.
Well, say, if just put yourself in my position, someone who has access to almost free court, I could run a club with low overhead because my shuttle cost is
so high, so high.
Yeah. So that makes the difference.
Go on.
No, that's it. That's the difference, because it's like table tennis. They changed the ball. They changed the material of the ball that they use so that it lasts. It doesn't crack, and they can last longer. And that's what I'd say. Well, it's not that expensive. Like if the ball cracks, but they changed it to make it so that it's a better material to last longer.
Yeah, but if they stop making the feather shuttlecocks, I think, like you said, I think they should continue with the high quality feather shuttlecocks to the highest level, because that's the highest level. There's not really a price cost concern really. But and then again at the lower levels, then you should maybe start playing more universally with the plastic shuttle. But I don't think it should be made inaccessible to us, which is what they're talking about now. You know, like if they actually stop producing feather shuttlecocks and you still want some clubs, and you're an independent club like Bridge Park or whatever, and we still want to use classic OG feather shuttlecocks, and they're going to stop making them, and the price is going to go up, and that's what I don't want to have happen. You know, I still want to have the option to play with the one with extra control and a different feeling. It has a different feeling when you play with a plastic one to the one. You don't have the control you have, I think. I want to still have that option and then viable, you know what I mean? If they get rid of it in the World Tour, how quickly do the service rule come into club level? Pretty quickly, right? If I do a high serve, whatever, you'll call me. And then if that
but that service rule has a cover. That's the one. That's why I said they differentiated it, because there was no way of them ever enforcing that service rule in grassroots. Your service, we call, is for your rib, your lowest rib. Their service is a bit higher, but they have to have someone standing there because no one's watching it. You need a person sitting there to do it. That's why that rule.
You can't call fault. Yeah.
You can't call it. Who's watching it? The person, your partners are watching it because he's watching the shuttle. The people across are watching it. So no one's ever watching if they put a mark on the pole. The only way you're going to be able to tell is everyone wears a T-shirt with a line on it, which shows how high the line is you're supposed to serve. But if they do get rid of it on the international level, like you said, I think they will. It will
trickle down.
It will make it harder to get further shuttles.